Hello, all my sweet friends. It is What's for Dinner time again around here this week, and I am glad that you came back to spend a little more time with me in my kitchen. I appreciate you guys so much. You don't even know. I love talking to you in the comments. You're just the best. Well, I hope that you get some ideas and inspiration from this week's video, and let me just say, I made a recipe that was probably the most different-ish kind of recipe that I have made before, and spoiler alert, it was so good. And I think it's a prime example of if you have a hankering for something, you don't have everything that you need ingredient wise, you can probably find a recipe and come up with something pretty close. And that's what I did this week, and it was really good. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you've ever tried that, or if you've ever kind of stumbled upon a recipe based on, I want this and I don't have all the ingredients, let me see what I can do. That's what's fun about being in the kitchen, isn't it? All right, you guys, let's jump right on into this week's video. You guys, I am so proud of this meal. This was off the chart, so flavorful and delicious. I made a chicken parm with some pasta and salad. I was so pleased with how this turned out, and I don't know why I don't think to make chicken parm more often. I just don't. But after this, I don't think I'll be forgetting about it. I started off here with an egg that I got all beat up, and then I have boneless, skinless chicken breasts that are the thin sliced. So I'm just going to put the chicken through the egg, and then I've just got some flour here, lay the chicken down on that. And then for my seasonings, I went in with a garlic butter seasoning. I used some black pepper, some dry Italian seasoning, and then I put some Parmesan cheese, some of the grated Parmesan. Put that all on top, pressed it in here along with the flour, got it really well coated, and then I just fried this up in my frying pan. Maybe a little higher to start to get the coat on there on the outside, and then I just did it low and slow. I wanted it to be tender, moist, and of course it's going to be very flavorful with these seasonings that I put on. So easy peasy there, but I'm telling you, if you get a good flavored, seasoned up chicken breast, that right there is really going to add as you are building this chicken parm. This box of pastaroni, the Parmesan cheese, is really what inspired this meal. I've had this in my pantry for a little while, and as I was planning out what I would make, I knew that I would use that to build this meal around. And so that was the whole inspiration for this. So I just cooked that one up per package directions. And then now that my chicken is finished, I'm going in with some pasta sauce. This was a jar that I already had open. It was good to be able to use that up as well. Put a little bit on the bottom, a little bit on the top, and then I'm just going to go in with mozzarella cheese all over the very top. Put the lid back on and let that cheese melt. And like I said, I'm just going to serve that up along with that pasta on the side. Of course, you could put the pasta down and the chicken on top of it, but we just put it on the side. And I just made a sort of a, I don't know, maybe a copycat Olive Garden inspired type salad. I just had some spring mix. I put cucumber and onion, and I just put this is the Aldi version of the Olive Garden dressing. Put some cheese on top, and then I just went ahead and mixed that whole thing up in the bowl and served that on our plate. I can't say enough about how delicious this meal was. If you're looking for a way to maybe mix up your Italian night that you might have Italian, this is a way that I don't think of as often, but boy, it was sure delicious and very easy to pull together. Now, this evening, I made a pot of chili. And to say that I was hungry for chili is an understatement. I had really been wanting chili for a couple of weeks now, and I thought, okay, we got to just get this pot of chili made. So I've scaled down much less chili is made than I used to make because it's just the two of us. So I went to my pantry, pulled out these chili beans, this tomato sauce, and these Rotel type tomatoes, and just did 1 pound of ground beef and some onion. And I've said here before, I don't follow a recipe for chili. I use what I have on hand, what maybe I'm in the mood for. So my chili is different every time, but it usually always has some of the same components, you know, as chili should. So tonight, what I did that was different, and honestly, it made it so good. I'm going to show you here in a second how I used some leftovers that I had to make this chili really extra special. So I'm just going in here with seasonings, chili powder, paprika. I did some crushed red pepper flakes, salt, pepper, garlic powder, just the usual things that go in, that you might think that would go in a chili. That's what I used. I just let this cook low and slow. Look how thick and delicious this is. Okay, that's my different thing that I added in this time. The day before, I had made a really yummy, cheesy macaroni and cheese. I had plenty of cheese in it. I topped it with cheese and I baked it in the oven. It was so good, and I had a little bit of that left, and you could actually see the cheese pull on some of the macaroni and cheese as it was warming up in this chili. And so, yeah, sometimes we eat chili without pasta, sometimes we like pasta in it, and I knew this macaroni and cheese added in there would be so good. But 1 slice of American cheese and a little bit of sour cream, and that was our easy peasy dinner this night. It hit the spot.
Hi guys, this is my chili with some whipped cream or some sour cream on top. Look how yummy. Oh, see this thing? Real smoky smelling in here.
Weirdo. Okay guys, this is probably the most unconventional thing I've ever made. But I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna bring you along. All right, I have 1.5 cups of self-rising flour in my bowl, and I'm gonna add maybe 1.5 cups, maybe not. First, I'm just gonna see what I think about this consistency. So the recipe I'm making is from the website called Plain Chicken, and this is called baked chicken and, oh, no. Take that back. It's called chicken and dumpling casserole. I did see a recipe called baked chicken and dumplings, but this one's called chicken and dumpling casserole. It has a lot of good reviews, a whole lot of good reviews. Also in the reviews, there are a lot of like customizations that people share in the comments that they have done a little bit differently, from adding in mixed vegetables, adding double of this dumpling portion. Some people said they like to double that. There's all different things. So I'm going to link below the recipe, and I suggest just reading through those comments if you're going to make this for yourself, and read the comments and see what you think and how you may want to customize it. But it calls for, I would say I'm making a little bit more than a half portion because I like the idea of having plenty of the dumpling mixture. So that's this, and see, I didn't add in the equal amount of milk, and I don't think it needs it. This is plenty runny enough. In fact, well, I've never made this, so we'll see. I think it looks just fine. Now, the other thing that I'm doing that's unconventional, I don't have any chicken. 0 chicken in my fridge, freezer, whatever. But I do have this canned chicken, and I did read where people used this instead. So I only have this 1 can. It is 12 ounces. I'm gonna use this. We're gonna see. It may not be delicious. It may be. How do you know till you try? All this to say, I want chicken and dumplings today, and I don't have the chicken. So I am going to, if I'm not gonna do it the way I normally make chicken and dumplings, I'm gonna try something new. So here we go. Let's just see what happens here. Also in the comments, several people said they had seasoned up this mixture a little bit. So I'm going to put just a little bit of parsley flakes. I'm going to put in some black pepper. I like a lot of black pepper on my dumplings when I have the dumplings or make them. I'm going to put in a little bit of garlic salt. And that's that. And of course, as this sits, you can see it kind of thickens up a little bit. I'll stir that in. And that is my little add-in here for this dumpling mixture. Okay, the recipe says to melt a fourth a stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, in the bottom of your casserole dish. And then place your chicken on top. Whatever kind of chicken, rotisserie, whatever. I'm using my canned chicken. Putting that in there. Spread that out in the butter. That's what the recipe says to do. Next up, it says to pour over the dumpling mixture, but do not stir. So I'm just going to kind of strategically pour it in so it goes all over everywhere. Not stirring it when I'm done. Okay, the next step here is to take your chicken broth and mix it with 1 can of cream of chicken soup. It calls for 2 cups of chicken broth. I reduced down to 1.5 since I'm reducing down my portion size on this. And I'm going to mix in the whole can of cream of chicken soup. And then you also pour this on top with no stirring. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to pour this over top. I'm not going to stir it. So here we go. All right, I think this goes in a 400-degree oven for 45 minutes. Wow, you guys, look at this. This looks delicious. I cannot wait to try this. Of course, I'm going to tell you guys how we liked it, but it looks really good. It's reminding me of my mom's recipe for turkey pot pie. I've showed that on my channel several times before. You mix together like a biscuit topping and pour over top of your pot pie mixture of your turkey and your veggies. And it kind of looks like this on top, so it's kind of reminding me of that. I didn't think about that before, but oh my word, I think this is going to be good. I think it's going to be good. This dish really surprised us with how delicious it was. So easy with ingredients that you most always have on hand. I will definitely make this again. I'm ready to make it again already. We love this one, and if you haven't tried it, be sure and look below. Click on the link and read the recipe and maybe make this for yourself. It was really good. All right, for a very easy meal, something that we thought sounded pretty good lately was some chili cheese dogs. And I recently at Kroger got 2 packages of these stuffed cheese dogs for free. And that was great. And then I had this Castleberry hot dog chili with mustard and onion in my pantry. All I had to pick up was the hot dog buns. So I picked up those brioche ones this time around. And this made a very quick meal. Those brioche buns were a nice touch. Just serve this up with the chili, some cheese, mustard, onion. It was a yummy and quick meal. As was this one in my freezer. I had just a few of these Tyson Anytizer boneless chicken bites, the honey barbecue flavor. I had a few of those left and just a few French fries, 2 different bags with not much in them. That made another really quick and easy meal. And then here I am working on using up a few more apples that I had left that I was working through, and I decided this time around to make fried apples, and that's always, you know, delicious, very sort of like a comforting dish to add with breakfast or just any time. And my husband James is a big fan of fried apples, so I thought that would be a great use of these apples I had in my refrigerator. Let me show you how I made these. To my large skillet, I just melted some butter, 2 or 3 tablespoons. You can certainly add a little bit more if you want to. You want to just basically fry these up until they, I like to get a little color on them, but you don't want to get them real dark. And you just want them to get soft, so just, you know, gauge your temperature accordingly. It doesn't take real long. After they are getting close to being the right softness, you're going to go in with some sugar. I added a little bit of salt, and I added some cinnamon. I added a little bit of honey on top as well, just to finish up a little bit of honey I had in the jar. And you just stir that together. You can taste to see if you have it seasoned how you want it. And that's about as easy as you can get. And these are great served with a warm biscuit. Or you could put them over top of pancakes. You can just eat them plain as a side. Easy fried apples for sure. And so that helped me to work through the apples that I had on hand. I was actually taking these to church, and so I put them in my new little white cast iron, enamel cast iron skillet that I got at Goodwill, brand spanking new. I think I paid $3 for it. I hadn't thought of that, or I could have even cooked them in that, but I just put them in there to serve, and these were really delicious. Also on this day, I took these little powdered donuts that I put on these little sticks to make them look like snowmen, put them on the stick, put them in a little Ziploc bag, drew the little snowman face on, and this was a big hit with the kiddos. They thought this was really fun, and that was so easy to do. All right, you guys, until next week, I'm glad that you were here with me this week. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you, just hit that red subscribe button. If you want to be notified, hit the red notification bell. That way when I'm in the kitchen, you can be in here with me. And leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think sounded pretty good out of this video and that you might try in your kitchen. All right, you guys, love you so much. Enjoy talking to you so much. You guys are great, and I will see you. I always have a grocery haul on Friday, most every Friday, and of course back here on Sunday for What's for Dinner. All right, take care. See you next time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.